Welcome to Ben Unfiltered. This feels like Jackass. This feels really stupid. This week, we got a great episode for you. And I mostly want to talk about marketing. And as you guys know, Elon Musk just bought Twitter. He walked into Twitter with a kitchen sink to let everybody know that Twitter is a sinking ship. Which is why I just walked into Ben Unfiltered with a trash can to let you guys know this podcast is a piece of trash. It's horrible. It didn't work as well as I wanted it to. I want to talk about marketing. I want to learn from these people. I'm a, on paper, very unsuccessful human being, podcaster, Jew. On paper, I'm an unsuccessful Jew. I mean, Kanye West is talking about how Jews run the media and everybody he's ever worked for is a Jew. I'm a Jew and I've never been anywhere near Kanye West. He's like, everybody who handles money for me is a Jew. I'm like, Kanye, you don't realize how many poor Jews there are out there. There are tons. And also, Kanye, if you wanted to gain something from all these media appearances, you should have just said that Palestinians run the media. That would have helped you so much. Jews all over the world would have given you a standing ovation. Instead, you did the exact opposite. Now Kanye West is in a position now where he only has support from Palestine. That's like the worst place you could possibly be, Kanye. Kanye, if you're talking about if you saying that Jews run the media is just a comparison to Palestinians, I think you're right. Basically, Kanye, if you're going, more Jews are involved with media than Palestinians, that's 100% true. You picked the wrong side. That's all I'm saying. This week, I want to talk about marketing. I'm a comedian. All I want to do is stand-up comedy. All I want to do is be successful enough to be able to earn a living doing stand-up comedy. And I'm looking around. I live in Hollywood. I also am on my phone all the time on social media. I'm looking around, and the people who are doing the best, they know how to market themselves. They know how to turn nothing into something. They know how to start a video. They know how to edit a video. They know how to get your attention. And as you can probably tell from the beginning of this podcast, I don't know how to do any of that. I have no idea. How do they do it? Like, am I supposed to just give you like financial advice? That's what I'm told. My producer just told me that. He just told me that, Ben, the only way to start your stand-up career is to give people financial advice. That's the most popular search on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, right? Yeah. So I want to give you horrible financial advice.
It's also the only type of advice that's not getting censored by the algorithm.
There you go. And Kanye, you made a big mistake. You could have easily embedded all of your anti-Semitic rhetoric in financial advice. You could have easily said that, like, I think fill in the blank stock owned by a Jewish person is going down, and fill in the blank stock owned by me or a Palestinian. I think Kanye West is about to become the prime minister of Palestine. Is going up. You could have said that, Kanye. And also, I learned today that another great way to market yourself is to talk about how everything that you're about to say is going to get you canceled or is going to be offensive. Like, guys, this is how I should have started the podcast today. Guys, I'm going to say a lot of things that you don't want to hear. I'm going to say a lot of things that might make you angry during this. guys, I think the comment section, when I'm done with this video, it's going to explode with negative comments. You guys aren't going to agree with what I have to say. And then what the guy has to say is like, hey, I think you should, invest well. That's all that he has to say. These are some, I don't know if everyone's going to agree with this. And he's like, here's some good stocks that I picked. It's like, it's all like what I'm picking up, and maybe it's just because I'm a cynic, and maybe it's just because maybe it's because I'm lazy and I don't want to. Marketing's hard. It's just legwork. Maybe I just don't want to do it. But it seems like these people just kind of figure out a white lie that they can tell that feeds into the algorithm, and then they just run with that. Here's how you make $200 a day, and then they show you their financial reports, and they didn't even do that. How do you expect me to do it? Elon Musk just bought Twitter. He's doing a great job marketing himself. He walked in with a kitchen sink into Twitter, and he did that because he thinks Twitter's a sinking ship. I think Elon Musk maybe would benefit from like a writing staff of people who aren't, and I don't want to get in trouble for this. I don't want to get canceled for this. See, it's working. I think Elon Musk would benefit from having a writing staff, or maybe just some people around him who aren't on the spectrum. I think that would be good. I mean, a guy like Elon Musk could easily have a Netflix show called Running Twitter on the Spectrum. I mean, that's what he's doing. Being a CEO on the spectrum. That he is so insane. I mean, he says that he has Asperger's. I'll take it one step further, and I'll say he's retarded. He's a wild man. He's on the spectrum. Him and Kanye West could both be in a reality show on Netflix called Being Billionaires on the Spectrum. They are. He walked into Twitter with a kitchen sink because he thinks it's a sinking ship. Is it just because the word sink overlaps? He should have walked in with a ship. It's not even like he picked the wrong thing to walk in with, and it's not a good joke to begin with. How is it that I'm, who knows, who's to say how funny I am? But how is it, who's to say how funny I am? But I do know that I'm funnier than Elon Musk. Evidently, humor does not pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? It's like this guy thinks that walking in with a kitchen sink into Twitter is funny, and he's got so much more money than me. I could have told him immediately not to do that, and he probably would have given me a lot of money to do that. Why don't I write for Elon Musk? That would be a good job. He's like, I have a great bit idea where I walk in with banana peels into Twitter, and I say it's a slippery slope. And I go, Elon, don't do any of that. Here, if I was Elon's writer, I'd be like, hey, Elon, I have some advice for you. Stop trying to be funny ever. You're never going to be funny. You're not funny. You started PayPal. There's nothing funny about that. You will never be funny. And puns, a pun coming from you. I mean, a pun coming from a South African. Okay, I have to cut this off and explain to you another thing. A guy on the spectrum is going to have a hard time writing great jokes. Some of them are actually brilliant writers, but Elon is not. Elon's a guy who's not going to be able to write a great joke, partially because he's a little detached from human communication due to his Asperger's. Also, he's South African, one of the least funny populations in the world. Have you ever met a South African white person, by the way? I love the blacks. He's an Afrikaner dude from South Africa. What's funny about that? What's funny about being like one of the worst groups of white people in the world? There's so many bad whites out there. I mean, Germans aren't great historically. That's a bad white. Vikings, they did some bad things. This is a history lesson from Ben Herwitz. South African is a rough one, man. I mean, Trevor Noah's South African. He's very funny. I would love to see a white South African stand-up comedian. That would be very hard to watch. I can't even imagine. They probably do stuff like walk on stage with a kitchen sink and people just go giving a standing ovation. The bar is so low for comedy in South Africa. But he's a brilliant self-marketer. The walking in with the sink, I don't think that did him a lot of favors, but buying Twitter, that's brilliant. Is that what I have to do? Do I just have to start buying things that are out? Do I have to start buying things that are maybe slightly out of my price range? Like if I went out tomorrow and bought a watch, would that help me? Would that help my marketing? That would be the version of me doing something slightly out of my price range. I go to the Apple store and I buy an Apple Watch and I go, check me out, guys. And I'm like just buying something that most people can afford. I'm just buying a normal thing. That's where I'm at financially. Yeah, if I bought a Hyundai Kona, that would be out of my price range. It's not going to help me self-marketing myself. Kanye knows how to market. I mean, the three people who are the best at self-marketing right now in America are all like, they're all a little bit mentally ill. It's Elon Musk, Kanye West, and Jeffrey Dahmer. He's an incredible self-marketer, and he's not even alive. How is he doing it? I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer has the most popular Netflix special since Dave Chappelle's first Netflix special. That's saying a lot. I'd love to see Jeffrey Dahmer do stand-up comedy. He just walks on stage and starts eating someone's heart. I don't get the show. The Dahmer soap opera. It's basically softcore porn. I don't even know what people are tuning in for. I watched that show and read his Wikipedia as I was watching it. And I read faster than I watched. They literally wrote every episode taking information directly from the Wikipedia. This is insane to me. But it's popular. People love it. People love hot Dahmer just killing, eating, and having sex with people and getting away with it. People love getting away with murder, which is why Kanye West will get away with this. He'll be fine. And also for all the Jews out there, I'm always going to be a Kanye West fan. I love his music. It's my favorite. It really is. It's kind of the only music I listen to, and it still is. I mean, and when something goes wrong, when someone does something wrong, it kind of makes me want to listen to the music more. Like after I watched that R. Kelly documentary, where he's got women, like he's literally got children chained in his basement. I was like, what was the song? And then met to ignition. I'm just like, I stay up late at night watching R. Kelly ball and chain people to his house in Chicago, and I'm like, then I met to admit. I'm in the car singing the songs again. And also, I remember they were playing it at grocery stores. The R. Kelly documentary comes out, which completely incriminates him. He ends up he went to prison, right? Yeah, because of the documentary. That's also an amazing thing too. How is it that the American legal system is so piss poor that the only way people end up going to prison for any of this stuff is when they make a documentary about it? It's like some little nerd at NYU has to get all the information together so these people can go to jail. The FBI has no idea what they're doing. It's just full-blown documentary legal system. That's what we have in America now. Except for the Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. He admitted to that. But what I was going to say about Kanye West is I'll always listen to the music. And I think my advice for all the Jews out there who are offended by what he said, shut the fuck up. Kanye's the man. No, well, what Kanye said is not right, but a great way to fix that, guys, he's a rapper. He says the wrong thing all the time. That's part of rapping. The best way to listen to Kanye West's interview with Tucker Carlson is to just put a beat underneath it. Listen to him talking to Tucker Carlson or Lex Friedman or anybody he's talked, or Cuomo, anybody he's talked to recently. Listen to that with a boom, 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 boom. If the beat's about to drop and Kanye goes, Jews run the media, you're like, yeah, all right. Jews run the media. Cool. It won't be offensive anymore. And he's almost schizophrenic. Talk about spectrums. He probably is autistic also, but he's very close to going from bipolarity to schizophrenia. He's almost all the way down the U-shaped curve. Me and you, us cool guys with no mental illness, we're over here. We're over here on the U-shaped curve. Hey, cool, healthy, not speaking gibberish. Love Jews. That's over here. I love the Jews. All the way over here, schizophrenia. Have you ever talked to a schizophrenic homeless person? You probably don't know it, but you have. When have they ever said anything good about Jews? When I think that there's a direct, and this is a little bit out of school. I'm no schizophrenia expert, but I think that if you have schizophrenia, full-blown diagnosed schizophrenia, and you're not on your meds, you have said thousands of things about Jews. It just goes without saying. I can't think of, I'm not saying Hitler was schizophrenic, but schizophrenic people just say all sorts of weird shit. Kanye West has been saying horrible things about black people too. He's been saying horrible things about everybody because he doesn't even know what he's saying. And if you put it in a rap song, it's all fine. He's a musician. Let him make music. If you wanted him to be a rabbi, that would be a bad choice. You can't hear the music in the background. Good, okay. There's a lady down the hall in this building who's a sculptor who sculpts her own naked body, and she's blasting music. And I think she just came out of her office. I think she might have heard me. Yeah, just put a beat. Just put a beat under the interviews. You'll love them. It'll be your new favorite song. That's all I'm saying. Another guy who's being marketed pretty heavily right now is Jeremy Lin. The Jeremy Lin documentary just came out. And I don't think it's bad. I'm on Team Lin for sure. Lin Sanity, you remember it? Do you remember that one, let's be honest, that 1 month when an Asian guy was one of the leading scorers in the NBA? It was crazy. Do you remember that 1 month when China got what it wanted? Complete control of America for 1 month. I don't even think he might be something other than Chinese, which, if people are watching, I told you at the very beginning of this episode, you're not going to like what you hear in this episode. I might get canceled for this. Yeah, if I'm going to get canceled for anything, I hope it's not for calling Jeremy Lin the wrong kind of Asian. I hope. There's a whole documentary about how he's an Asian guy playing basketball in the NBA. How cool is it? How cool is it that an Asian guy is breaking down all these stereotypes? He's in the NBA. He's cool. He's not studying. He's not doing science and math. He's in the NBA. He's not doing what his parents told him to do. He's living out his dream, playing professional basketball.
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
And he's actually from Taiwan, so China soon.
Yeah. So and also here's another thing, Asian countries. This is crazy to say on TikTok. Actually, it's great because TikTok's Chinese owned. So So I think TikTok will be on board with this. If you're an Asian country and you think you're not going to be part of China soon, you're nuts. Anywhere in Asia, China's coming for you. Actually, I was just talking to a butcher who's from Tibet. He knows China's coming. He's a great guy. He's not happy about it, but he knows. I mean, that's why he lives in Los Angeles, because he knows China's coming. He wants to get as far away as possible. The Jeremy Lin documentary, it kind of felt silly to me. There's all these talking heads going like, he totally broke down the stereotype. He did everything you're not supposed to do as an Asian guy, and he succeeded. We loved it. And I don't think these people are really analyzing the Jeremy Lin story very well. Jeremy Lin only played in the NBA because he played basketball at Harvard. And Harvard doesn't give academic scholarships. Sorry, Harvard doesn't give sports scholarships. They only give academic scholarships. So Jeremy Lin got into Harvard based on his academic ability. If you could describe to me a more Asian pursuit, he did them, and it's like, again, I know that I'm talking about Asian stereotypes. I'm from San Francisco. I'm very sensitive to this. I understand. Stop Asian hate. But this is a positive stereotype. Asian people study hard on average because their parents make them study hard. It's actually similar to Jews. A lot of Jewish parents are very similar. They do it too. It doesn't work quite as well, but it works well. Jeremy Lin played in the NBA because he was academically eligible to go to a school like Harvard, and played extremely well at Harvard, and then got in the NBA. And also, he's 6'4". He's taller than anybody you know. He's not some little guy with a Fu Manchu and a deep squat smoking a cigar, He's not like smoking an opium, like a bowl of opium. He looks like an NBA player. If he's a big guy, and also he worked really hard. Okay, so they're like, he did the opposite of what his parents told him to do. No, he didn't. He did exactly what his parents told him to do, and then he played basketball after that. He's just, okay, you're excited because he's an Asian guy who did all this stuff. You're like, oh, it makes it possible for me to do it. I could do it then. No, he's better than you. You couldn't do it. He's talented. Like that guy is just very talented. That's all I'm saying. It was hard to watch the Kanye West interviews. It was exhausting. It's hard to watch a mentally ill person talk for that long. And also watch Tucker Carlson giggle as it's happening. You know the Tucker Carlson giggle? I mean, and also, if you think that they didn't edit out like half of the crazy gibberish coming out of that guy's mouth, you're out of your mind. Also, I do like the best part of, I think it was a podcast where he said this, but the best small clip of Kanye West talking in the last week is when he said that he went to see Anthony Jeselnik. That to me, like if that doesn't humanize Kanye West, if that doesn't make you think, oh, he's an okay guy. I mean, he said that in the same night he went to see Anthony Jeselnik, who's a funny guy, but like, I mean, he's not a rock star comedian. Like this is not like the top of the line. This is not the world's best show. He didn't go to see Kevin Hart, who's like shooting fire out of the ground, and he didn't go to see like a virtuoso like Louis C.K. or something like that. He went to see Anthony Jeselnik. And then afterwards, he went to go eat at the Cheesecake Factory. It's like, I mean, it's Kanye West is a billionaire, and he's living like a Midwestern, like a suburban Midwestern woman. You go see Anthony Jeselnik and then get dinner at the Cheesecake Factory. You go and get the glazed salmon at the Cheesecake Factory and you call it salmon. I mean, I don't know what this guy's doing with his money. He could have gotten a one-person concert from Mick Jagger in person. He could have paid for the Rolling Stones to perform for him alone. And then he could have gone to what's Salt Bay's restaurant where you like, this guy, the salt on his elbow. I don't really get that. Why is it more appetizing when the salt touches his elbow? You've seen it like this?
I don't think that he's just throwing it.
I thought it touched his elbow.
I don't know.
He's like, does this make you want to eat it more? And he's like rubbing it on his elbow. At Salt Bay's restaurant, they have $10,000 steaks. They're just like wrapped in gold. To Kanye West, that would be nothing. Instead, he's getting a slice of cheesecake after watching Anthony Jeselnik tell dead baby jokes. It's like, what are you doing with your life, man? You could do so much better. But he is a genius marketer. I mean, he just got dropped by all of these companies. Who's going to pick him up? I mean, he's going to have to start working with some pretty shady people. How's he going to make clothing? How's he going to make weird clothing that homeless people wear? Just gigantic. How's he going to make Smurf clothing? And big rubber shoes.
Well, I think the point, at least his like what he thinks is a smart strategy is he's out of all those contracts, so he could just do it himself. He could make his own record label now. He could make his own clothing company now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe that's what he thinks that he's doing. But has Kanye not proven to you guys that he can do nothing on his own? I mean, he can barely function on his own. You think this guy's going to run a successful company? It literally would be like pulling a guy off of the. It actually would. It would be the plot of Trading Places. If Kanye West ran a company, it would be like taking a homeless guy and making him the head of a company. Do you remember that Eddie Murphy movie where he's a homeless guy who, and as like a bet, these investors go like, let's see if this guy can trade stocks, and then he can. But it would be the opposite of that, because you'd be taking a crazy schizophrenic homeless guy and putting him in a business, putting him in a suit and having him run a company. The end result is Kanye West. It's a guy like, walking in naked to the office. That would have been good for Elon Musk. Just walk in completely naked into Twitter for no reason.
Also, I just realized that he used the wrong metaphor. I remember the first time I saw him walk in with the kitchen sink, I immediately thought like, oh, he's throwing the kitchen sink at, because that's that phrase, like, oh, I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at something. Like, meaning I'm going to throw everything I got.
That would have been a lot better. I've never heard that phrase, but that would have been a lot better.
That's what I thought. And then
I thought he meant he was like cleaning house. I mean, it's such a confusing pun.
Right.
That's why he needs like
literally anything but a kitchen sink would have been
anything
appropriate. Yeah. More appropriate than what he.
Oh, the most appropriate thing would have been no jokes, Elon.
Yeah, if you're gonna fire 75% of the people, maybe
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he walks into Twitter with a kitchen sink, so he can meet everybody who he's gonna fire. I mean, that's basically what he did.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd love to shake hands with everybody who will be gone soon. He got rid of everybody. And big surprise, Elon Musk, South African white guy, gets rid of the Indian CEO. Big surprise. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it. But again, these guys are doing something right. And I'd love to figure it out. I post videos on every platform. And if they go viral, it's because somebody disliked something that I did, for the most part. Should I just start giving out financial advice? Should I try to buy Twitter? Should I run for president? I feel like it's almost at this point, it's almost hacky to run for president. Everybody runs for president as like as a scam.
And then what's worse, you might accidentally win. Like, I don't think Donald Trump wanted to be president.
Exactly.
I think he wanted to sell a book.
Kanye West is about to run for president. Donald Trump, I know that Donald Trump didn't want to win the presidential race because there was a season of The Apprentice coming up the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger took over for him, but Trump was going to be on that season.
Yeah.
It was in the books. He had no plans of winning. And the show went away because he needed to be on. They needed a guy who spoke actual English to be on, to be in charge of that show. As crazy as Trump is, he makes a lot more sense than Arnold Schwarzenegger when he talks. I would like to tell you guys that I had hey guys, if I was a really smart self-marketer, if I was like really good at social media, I would go, hey guys, I had a great week this week. Let me tell you about my great week. If I was really good at social media, I would go, here's what I ate this week. Here's how much money I made this week. Here's what I look with here's what I look like with my shirt off this week. And I'm about to do the exact opposite of that. I had a horrible fucking week. Horrible. I'm driving I told you in one of these episodes that the front tire of one of my cars fell off because the AAA mechanic down the street, AAA Community Auto down the street, John, don't go to this guy. They didn't tighten my front left tire and it fell off in New Mexico. I told you about all that. I've been driving a rental car for 2 weeks now, which that sounds nice, right? Oh, a rental car, different car. How cool is that? First of all, they didn't give me a nice car. I mentioned Hyundai's Konas earlier because I'm driving a Hyundai Kona, which is actually much nicer than my current car. But I'm driving a rental car is just a ticking time bomb. I put a deposit down on this car. I'm just like so fucking paranoid that something's going to go wrong. The tire pressure shows up on my car as I'm driving, and I didn't realize the tire pressure just goes up and down constantly. So it was low for a second. I was like, oh fuck, I got to take it. And then it goes up and down and up and down. I'm just afraid something's going to happen to this car and I'm going to have to pay for it. It's not fun having a rental. So I'm driving a rental car. Okay, so far I told you my week was bad. That doesn't sound that bad, and it's not. Not bad at all. I had a pretty bad show last night. I'll tell you that I bombed. I think that'll market pretty well. People want to hear honest stories about failure, and then they want to hear about your success. I don't have that story yet for you. I did a show in Bellflower, outside of Los Angeles, predominantly Mexican neighborhood. Chris?
Sorry, you bombed there.
It was a late show. It's not smart to do this, but when I go and do like very like ethnic shows, I sometimes get in my head where I'm like, do Mexican people eat food? Do they have squirrels in Mexico? You know, like that kind of stuff. I just get paranoid that they're not going to get any of my jokes. And there's like, if there's a foolproof plan to get people to not get your jokes, it's to think, are they going to get this? And then they don't get it. And I was like talking about Gen Z and OnlyFans. And I'm like, do Mexican people watch OnlyFans? And it just totally fucked me up. It wasn't horrible, but it was just like, I missed the mark 100%. And also I did my number one game plan after having a bad set, which is don't talk to anybody who's on the show. Don't say bye. Just leave and then never talk to them again. Talk to them almost never again, ideally. You know, I've heard stories of like Norm Macdonald when he used to really bomb, he would stand outside of the club and shake everybody's hand. And then when he did really well, he would like go play poker or something. Like he wouldn't hang out. I can't. I do the exact opposite. If I have a bad set, I'm in my car within 5 minutes if I can, if it's possible. Like last night, I unlocked a door to sneak out. I could have set off an exit, like an emergency exit, because I just didn't want to talk to anybody after the set. And I just got in my car and drove home. And when I have a good set, I stand outside of the club shaking everybody's hand. Why would you not want the validation?
If you want like a Mexican cheat code, if you ever
in comedy clubs, well, I know the cheat code.
What's the cheat code?
Just be a fucking idiot. I'm saying that's like tongue in cheek. I don't 100% mean that, but a lot of the stuff they were laughing at, I'm like, come on, guys. It's like, it's almost like the version of like, you're a redneck when, but for Mexican.
Yeah.
You're Mexican when, you're eating tamales and everyone's like,
yeah.
There's a lot of pandering going on.
Yeah, they like pandering, but also like Mexicans like being part of the joke and getting made fun of. It's like the only race that I know where if you shit on them,
they would like it.
They would like it.
Well, if I go
but you can't be bombing and then start shitting on them.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't be getting no laughs because then it looks like you're attacking them.
I should have come out super hot. I made fun of the host, which was funny. The host looks like a mixture between Fat Albert and Bob Ross, but he's Mexican.
Yeah.
And I came out just like guns blazing, talking about how I couldn't draw someone that funny. He's got the funniest stomach imaginable. I said I was jealous of him. I was like, if I looked like you, dude, I'd be on TV right now. I was like, I'd be world famous if I had a waistline that looked like somebody drew it for humor purposes. That's what he looked like. It's like a cartoon, man. It's like this guy has every tool in the toolbox and he still fucking sucks. He had a funny voice. He doesn't suck. He's a nice guy. I hope he watches this whole episode. He won't. He had, and I said that into the mic, and I might have hit it too many times. Because I was like getting laugh. And I was like, yeah, and he's fucking fat. And they're like, what? They're like, you got to stop. Just stop making fun of the host. And then it made me feel like my bits are like real thoughtful bits, which is not a good feeling to have on stage. I'm saying things and I can tell I'm like, oh, this word economy is not making this Mexican audience happy right now. They need me to be fucking punching with stuff that they get. And I just was not doing that. I also, we can leave this in or take this out, or you can think what you want to think about this. I get self-conscious talking about being poor in front of black people and Mexican people. Because I feel like it's not as funny to them. Does that make sense? Like when I do a black show and I'm like, these shoes cost $20. They're like, they're like, why are you telling people that? We do that sometimes, and we don't tell people how cheap it. Like they're like, this is funny because you're a white guy. If you were a black guy and you went on stage and said, I have bad credit, I'm a gambling addict, and I have cheap shoes, they'd be like, that guy is an N-word. They wouldn't respect it. It would be like the Chris Rock bit, That's the sense that I get. And again, I'm probably projecting this. And the fact of the matter, I think that the actual truth is in front of those kind of audiences, if there's any difference between an urban audience, which means black in comedy lingo, and a Mexican crowd, there's no word for that, just Mexican. One of my least favorite jokes, which I think would kill in a Mexican room, is whenever anyone says Mexicant.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the worst jokes in the history of comedy. If somebody says Africant, Mexicant, honestly, I don't think they deserve to breathe. It's just like, it's just, come on, man.
And every Mexican would agree with you.
And that bit would have killed last night. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
It would have done very well in that room. What was I saying? I just need, in those kind of rooms, I think energy goes a long way in those kind of rooms. Like in front of like a savvy kind of, city crowd. If you're in like New York City or you're in Hollywood or something, the audiences are usually pretty diverse, and they're ready to put their thinking cap on a little bit. They're ready to listen to a bit about something interesting. In those other areas, a lot of the time they're like, this dude's a clown. Go be a clown. They want you to just be loud and fucking do a handstand and start humping. That's mostly the urban rooms. But they want you to go nuts on stage. And if I just train the confidence necessary to do that, I think I'll do very well in those rooms. But I get in my head sometimes and I'm like, they don't get me. I'm white. They don't get Jews here. I do that sometimes. And it's stupid. If I just commit like a lunatic, I think they'd probably like it. And I should have said this at the beginning of the podcast. It was a big mistake. But I just want to let the algorithm know that I'm a Jew. I was talking about Kanye in the context of... I was talking about the anti-Semitic stuff Kanye said a lot during this episode. And I'd like the Chinese people who are in charge of TikTok... I probably didn't need, that's a little redundant. I'd like whoever's in charge of TikTok to know, this is Jew. He can say anything about Jews because he's Jew. I just want to let you guys know, whoever is censoring this content, that's, God forbid he say that. I equal Jew, okay? I can say anything I want about those dirty... No. I can say what I want about Jews. I should be allowed to. Because I am one. That's all I wanted to say. And that's the episode for today. That's a great way to end this episode. And the conclusion I've come to during this episode of Ben Unfiltered is, I am a Jew. Actually. If we learned anything here today, it's that Ben Herwitz is a Jew.
That should be the title. Yeah. That's the title of the episode.
Hey, how was the episode? He was a Jew. He was a real Jew the whole time. I did want to talk about Alex Hormozy for 2 seconds. This is a shout out to Alex Hormozy, who will never see this. He's very popular on TikTok. And I'm sure some people have probably seen his videos. I actually know a guy who does impressions. He's like a comedy friend who does impressions of like web celebrities, who's doing an impression of Alex Hormozy, which is crazy. So I should tell you the backstory. I went to college with him, 10 years ago. And we were friends. Like I knew him. He was like the president of his frat, and he was like a successful guy. He worked hard. And we just, for whatever reason, we hung out. And it's like, it's fun. It's weird to see a guy who you knew, as you knew him personally, like in real, what do the Gen Z kids call it? IRL. I knew him in real life as a regular dude. And now I see his TikTok account, and he's got millions of followers, and he's getting all these likes, and he's giving out financial advice. He's doing all the things that I told you I should be doing at the beginning of the episode. He's saying that he's about to get canceled. He's saying that he's going to get negative comments. Brace yourself for this video. Get ready for some financial advice. He's doing all of that. And he's very, very popular. And he's for real. Like he has a consulting company, and he sold it for like $100 million or something. Like he's a very successful guy, but also it's fucking infuriating to see that guy doing so well on social media. Hey, I got news for you, Alex Hormozy. I'm funny. And you're not. I don't know if I'm making the world's best content, but I am humorous at a pretty good rate, buddy. Why is nobody looking at my fucking stuff? Is it because I'm not going, here's 10 steps to suck your own dick? Is that why? Here's 10 ways to fill in the blank. 10 ways to start your own something. I'm not doing any of that. And he is. And he's a genius marketer. He knows what he's doing. Actually, to tell you the truth, I've been doing this sales job. That's mostly what I did this week. Other than bomb in Mexico City. That's what it felt like. And to get pumped up for sales calls, or just like, honestly, to get information about how to do a sales call, I've been listening to Alex's videos. They're actually very good. I don't know why I'm talking shit about him. He gives pretty good advice for sales. Ask questions, let them talk, to wait until you try to actually close the deal, all that sort of stuff. It's actually pretty good. Oh, and also I didn't mention, he's completely muscle bound. Like he's on steroids and he's like jacked out of his mind. It's a little funny to me that like all of these financial experts are also bodybuilders at the same time. It's like again, like I was talking about that comedian that you couldn't draw a funnier looking guy. It's like, I couldn't draw more clickbait than this guy. He's like wearing shorts that show off the muscle connections in his legs while talking about how he made $100 million. It's like, who doesn't want to blow that guy watching that? It's brilliant. Look like a superhero and make a lot of money and talk about it all the time on TikTok. You will do very well. I've done neither. I'm slowly losing my hair. My weight will oscillate a lot for the rest of my life. I'll be very honest about it. I'm going to bomb in front of so many fucking Mexicans. There are going to be ups and downs here, and I'm going to be honest about them. And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should do steroids and learn how to do business. Maybe that would be better. I don't know. Again, I should have concluded the way I did earlier. Ben Herwitz is a Jew. This has been Unfiltered. If you made it this far, thank you. I reached out to a couple of people. I shouldn't have said that. But it's true. I reached out to before I've reached out on Instagram and said, does anybody have any questions? And I've used them on podcast. And I just DM'd the people who send the most questions recently. So I'm going to start doing some questions at the end of this. If you watch this whole thing and you have any questions for me, you have any Q&A, please send it my way. You can ask me anything you want. I'll attempt to answer. And otherwise, check me out on TikTok, Ben Herwitz Comedy. Check me out on Instagram, Ben Herwitz Comedian. I should probably streamline that. My YouTube is just Ben Herwitz, my name. I have shows coming up. I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but I have like local shows. I'm at the Comedy Chateau on Friday. Stevie Wonder was there recently. A blind guy who's like 80 was at the comedy club. They went on stage, I think. What else? I have a show in San Diego on Wednesday at Good Bar, and a show on Sunday at Flappers where Jay Leno goes. I might run into Stevie Wonder and Jay Leno in the same week. That's pretty good, right? Actually, that doesn't sound great. And that's pretty much it. Is there anything else I need to plug? No.
Check the description.
Oh yeah.
For anything you might have missed.
Please check the description below and tune in next week. Thank you guys.